hosts and guests and do not necessarily reflect those of B1039, Up North Radio, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Time for Curry's Corner with Pat Curry.
Hey, Jen, what about me?
And you too, Pete Kent. Brought to you by Big Rapids Pennzoil and Auto Repair, Seth Winger at the Winger Insurance Agency, Gilbert's Carpets Plus Color Tile, Barrington Firearms and Training Center, DW2 Drywall, and Michigan Landscape and Excavate.
There's a man named Pat Curry, he's got a passion for the news. Brings the stories of Big Rapids and across the county to you. Every Tuesday morning, you know just where to go. Tune in to B1039, he's got the scoop, don't you know? Welcome to Curry's Corner. With Pete Kent by his side, they'll keep you informed and entertained. Taking you on a ride from the latest happenings to the heart of the community. Come on over to Big Rapids and see what's on TV. Oh, wait, now you tell me it's not TV. Well, that's okay, just listen with me. We're on the radio, so now let's go. Time for Curry's Corner on your radio, yeah. Tune in and turn it up, let's have some fun.
Bobby, enough of that introduction. You're too kind with your introductions, Bob. You are one of the best DJs of all time since Wolfman Jack. Remember Wolfman Jack, Bobby?
I do.
You do remember him?
Wolfman Jack.
Yeah, Wolfman Jack. Boy, he was out in New York, wasn't he?
He was on, everywhere. He was on in New York, and also Los Angeles.
I wonder if he's
actually
still
from a station in Tijuana. He made it on a station in Del Rio, Texas, over in Ciudad Acuna, which is in Mexico, on a 250,000 watt radio station. That was his big break.
Wow.
And so he was heard all over the country, and then he went out to California.
Yeah.
He told stories about how, that he... well, let's just say the cartels even back then had influence on what was going on. So he was around for some gunfights and things like that for control of that radio station. So
wow,
yeah.
It takes me back in memory lane, which we're gonna go back a little bit. I want to share some thoughts at the end of the show about Joe Conard. Joe just passed recently, and then Vicky Conley, a class 74. Joe was a class 70. I want to talk a little bit about them later on. I know Jeff's got to get back to work. We got Jeff Tyson with Woodland Taxidermy in Paris, Michigan. He was nice enough to be a big supporter last year in the Buck Pole. We're going to talk about that in a little bit here. But going back to Wolfman Jack, these kids today, I could go into a long list of problems that we have right now, but we have some really good kids going to our schools right now, but the peer pressure and everything on them, I just feel bad for them because they didn't have a Wolfman Jack, to consult with, and listen to his wisdom. But he was in New York, I remember, and that was before these phones, Now that we have phones, I'm just as guilty getting on them. How many hours a week that we share ourselves, our whole life engulfed in these phones.
You don't know where you would have been without it back then, but we were. I mean,
we had a better life because we were outside playing until it got dark, and then we listened to Wolfman Jack.
You listen to Wolfman Jack here?
I think he was on every night, wasn't he? Yeah.
From New York on 66.
Yeah, the only night I think it was I think he recorded on a Sunday night, didn't he?
Yep. Yeah, the syndicated show, sure.
Did he have, was it a talk show or?
Yep. Well, actually, no, more music and, he would come on.
Right.
But not really a talk show.
Yeah, Wolfman Jack.
But,
that was back in the 70s, wasn't
Bob Smith was his real name.
Oh, really?
Yeah, very unassuming. Yeah, Bob Smith. But I understand the people who work with him, he was one of the nicest guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, quite a persona.
Yeah, just want to touch on stupidity. Some of the things people say to businesses nowadays, like, what? Where are you coming from? There's a lot of stupid people out there. But that being said, God must like stupid people because he made a lot of them. Don't you agree, Bob? God must like them.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that.
You know, and then, well, I could talk about a lot of things about fatherless families, too. You know, Father Jager's sermon Sunday was about fathers, how important roles they are to children's lives. And he shared statistics. And I just can't believe it. Suicide rate, 75% of the kids with suicide rates had no father. You know, that's hard. One statistic was 85% of kids that get in trouble end up going to jail are fatherless. So you fathers out there, if you want to change your minds on being a good father, it's still never too late. Get involved with your kid and listen to them, you know, because I tell you, in today's world, the stress is just astronomical right now with kids, you know.
I know one of your favorite songs, Cats in the Cradle.
Yeah.
About, you know, ignore them and one day they'll ignore you, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you listen to the words to a lot of songs right now, there's a lot of life lessons in them. I don't know that, what was the one, we can't play music on our show anymore because of the rights. And that's kind of sad because I got some really good ones. But what was that one last week I wanted to play, or you played at the end for me? It was something like Read or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I forget.
It wasn't Don't Let the Old Man In. No. That's a good one. Yeah. But we can talk forever on that subject. I got Jeff Tyson from Woodland Taxidermy from Paris, Michigan, like I said earlier, and I'm glad to have him on. Last year was our first annual. We're going to do it annually. Buck Pole. This year we have many more sponsors, and he's going to touch on a few that he got for us. And I think he was pretty excited last year. I think you got a lot of good advertisement for it and recognition. You know, you never know who's listening out there, and all of a sudden, wow, I didn't know that was in Paris, Michigan. But I don't want to change the subject a little bit, but, you know, life goes by pretty fast, and my condolences to you, Jeff. This year you lost your mother.
Yes, I did.
And last year we talked about how grateful you were to have the parents that you had. I believe you grew up in Vassar, wasn't it?
Yeah, yep, Vassar.
Pretty good, aren't they?
Yes, that's good memory.
Yeah, well, long term, sometimes I wonder. But I know last year we talked, and I touched on the subject of Woodland Taxidermy, how you come up with that name. And share that with us again, because we're going to talk about your mother and her life a little bit and what she did. I know she accomplished having you and your brother, right?
Oh, yeah.
Do you have any sisters?
I had an older brother, too.
Okay, yep. 2 brothers.
Yep, 2 brothers younger, and I was the middle one.
Yep. So Mama never had a daughter.
She never did, but she was sure happy when she had her granddaughter. Granddaughters.
Right.
My brother had a little girl too, so she took those in like they were her own.
And
you know?
Did they grow up very far from her?
My daughter didn't, but my brother's daughter did. So she didn't get to see her as much as my daughter.
How old is your daughter now then?
She's 31, just turned a couple weeks ago.
Well, happy birthday to her.
Along with her 2 little girls on the 12th and 14th.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, she got 3, but those 2 had October birthdays.
Wow. You know, the reason I say that is because I look at my grandkids, and I've told a story before about the cancer center. I took a buddy of mine down there a few times to Grand Rapids and asked the receptionist, why do these people want to live? I mean, they're all dying of cancer. Why would you want to live? And she said the number one reason is because of the grandchildren. And that's so true with my life right now. I see that with my 7 grandchildren. But your mother was very fortunate. To have a great family like she did, and she deserved it. She well deserved it, but to have grandchildren that old, that was the sparkle in her eye, wasn't it?
Yeah, her grandchildren, well, you know, with her Alzheimer's and things, really didn't get to see her great-grandchildren, but boy, she spent a lot of time with her grandchildren, and that was a good thing.
How long did she have Alzheimer's then?
8 years.
Oh, Lord.
8 years she suffered with that.
Oh, that poor soul. My mother had it for maybe 2 or 3. But my mother sometimes would come out of it and recognize, you know, and this and that. How about your mother?
Oh, a little bit. At the end, it was a little rough.
Was it?
Yeah, she was,
they
really
get
tired.
a little mean, don't they?
They could get that way,
My mother did. She got a little mean once in a while.
I heard a few words come out of her mouth that I don't think I ever heard.
My mother, too. Yeah, my mother was an angel just like yours, right? And then, like you said, you can't believe what they can say.
You know, it's got to be in there somewhere how miserable they truly are to be able to.
Now, where did she live her remaining?
The Brook.
Oh, she lived right here in Big Rapids.
Yep, which
How
was
many
nice.
years ago did you bring her here?
Excuse me?
How many years did she stay here then?
She was at the Brook for 4, I think.
Okay.
Close to 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. My brother stayed with her, lived with her for the first 4 years until it got bad enough that, it's pretty brutal on the family too. But,
yeah, it is. I was lucky. I come from a family of 12, and my sister Ann took care of both my mother and dad their remaining months or year or whatever it was, and we were very grateful for her, and mother never had to go to a home.
Yeah.
Ann dedicated her life
nice.
to my mother,
That's
for
nice.
a couple of years there. And we all have an angel in our family. And Ann's our angel,
my brother
you know.
was, bless his heart for what he did there.
You know, I mean, you come from good stock. So tell us a little bit about your mother, just real quickly. She was a beautician.
Yeah,
if I
she's a
remember?
beautician all her life. Us growing up as little kids, her beauty shop was connected right to the house. So she would have to excuse herself from a customer once in a while and break up the fight or the hardcore play that my brother and I were doing out in the other part of the house, But it's kind of funny because we'd get to know all her customers as kids and go in and sit in the shop and talk with her customers, My dad was the same way. It was funny because there'd be times where towards the end of the day, some of the guy customers, my mom would cut their hair, would schedule the end of the day. So when my dad got home, he'd take a beer in there with him. They'd have beer while they're getting their hair cut,
right?
Shoot the breeze,
Yeah.
But it was but she did really well. She was super busy. And when she moved back up here to Barreton, she just kept the shop going, and right up until she couldn't. She was doing her older lady's hair, and right up until she decided she just couldn't do that anymore. So,
well, the other reason I brought your mother up was because I want to touch on this subject a little bit. How big an influence do you think she is or was in you to what you are today? And the reason I say that is because you learned back in an early age more of an education from your mother, and nothing taken away from schools. We need them for math and English and arts and this and that. But don't you think you learned more from your mother in that environment on life's experiences and relationships, how to make them to what you are today in your business?
Absolutely. Watching, learning that mom didn't have to go to 4 years of college. She got her beautician certificate, or, I can't remember what it's exactly called, and then to get self-employed and work as hard as she did, always taking care of a family, making sure dinner was on the table at the end of the day, still working hours and hours in her beauty shop. That just sits in you. Even if you're unaware of it as a child, it's still pounding into your brain that you're seeing this. And my dad working every day, all day.
What did he do then?
He worked at Gray Iron, GM.
I've heard of it.
Yep.
Saginaw?
Yep, exactly.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He retired from there, and so it does. When you're surrounded with a hard-working family with a big heart that took care of each other, I think that just grows inside you.
Yeah, I'm getting older, and I don't really care what I do care what people think of me, and I feel bad that some people have ill feelings, but we all have them. You can't dwell on that, and I don't dwell on it. I feel sorry for them. But there's no greater pleasure than me watching my boys and my daughter at the gas station making relationship with customers.
Yep.
I'm so much proud of Matt, what he's done, and Adam. They've overcome me. That's a big obstacle, but because I'm tough. I know I'm tough to work, but my dad was tough on us. He made us work, and we enjoyed what he instilled in us now to this day. But like your mother had to be so proud of you because you went out and took that risk in making a businessman. I always tell everybody, I says the most satisfying thing in life is making a good relationship with another human being.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we have a lot of those in town here, and you're doing that now. Now, that being said, your taxidermy, how did you again start that, Jeff, up there?
Well, taxidermy, I was cutting meat for 16 years leading into the taxidermy.
Wow.
And
Where at?
Grocery stores.
Okay.
In Vassar I started, then I moved up here, and I don't know if you remember Carter's. I was
Real well.
cutting meat at Carter's for a few years, and Yeah, and that's when McCursey Brothers, my mom's McCursey over in Barreton, got with my uncle and said, hey, I'm ready to work here, and thought this is going to be it. I'm going to be in the family business and cut meat the rest of my life and retire from there, and found out my back couldn't handle that as well.
I was going to say you're a big man.
Yeah. Hunched over a table cutting meat all day, breaking down halves of beef. It was getting pretty wear and tear, and I just kept thinking, man, I just love this taxidermy thing. I'm very artsy. I play guitar.
Your dad must have been tall.
Dad was, yeah. That side of my family
aren't real tall.
No, Tyson's side of the family is tall.
Yeah,
I have cousins I look up at.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. They're big people.
I didn't know. Again, I forgot. It's been a year ago though since you were on here, so I forgot you're McCursey.
Yeah.
I was wondering where the connection was with your mother and Barreton.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, McCurseys.
McCursey.
They're great people. Rob and what's his brother's name? Rob and.
Well, Robbie is Mitch McCursey's son-in-law.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay.
And but Robbie's awesome guy.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I've known Robbie a long time, and his daughter and my daughter Carly played together as kids and grew up together. It was awesome. So I just decided, hey, I gotta get doing something different.
But you're an outdoorsman.
Very much so.
Always have been.
Always have. Yep.
So
Dad instilled that on us right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were cutting meat, and then one day you just all of a sudden said,
I was looking at a Woods and Water magazine in the back and saw taxidermy training in Midland. So I called it on a whim. And we set up a thing where I went to taxidermy school on the weekends for a year, kept working for Mitch, and thought it would just be a part-time after weekend thing, and then realizing that this would really turn into something. So I got hired at H&H Taxidermy. They were looking for a taxidermist, so I thought, what the heck, I'll go show them one of my deer.
Where was that at?
That was over in Mecosta.
Okay, we don't want to talk anymore about that competition. Go ahead. All right, so you started there, and then you...
Yeah, worked there about 6 years and decided it's time. I went on my own. Now it's 20 plus years. And
were you nervous?
Very.
Yeah.
Very. But cutting deer, cutting meat helped me because there's also Denslow's deer processing over in Sears. Great people, Chip and Penny. I've known them so many years.
Yeah.
And I said, how about I help you guys out for a little extra income while I get my business going? And it took off. It took off, being right there and advertising with the people bringing their deer in, saying, hey, I'm one stop drop here, and it helped get things going.
Yeah.
Now,
so did you have any company or anybody shift it your way, or you just independently, everybody was just an individual?
Independently, yeah.
How many years you been doing up there now? 5, 6?
Here in Paris?
Yeah.
This will be 7th year in moving into that building.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
But so you do them from all over the United States, don't you?
We get customers all over the state for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. That hunt all over the world.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
A lot of African safaris we're doing now, which is really cool.
Yeah.
That's picked up tremendously. I got a relationship with a South African fella named Tommy Steele, Steele Game Safaris, and I was introduced to him 2 years ago, and that's been phenomenal now. We push each other's business.
Wow.
He told us we have to come out there and see what it's all about. So last year, Deb and I went out.
Where's that at?
South Africa.
Really?
Yeah, we went to South Africa with Steel Game, and that was unbelievable.
Yeah.
That was truly life-changing. We're going back next year. And,
What's the most unusual one you ever done, animal-wise?
I had a fella want us to mount a baboon, standing on his hind legs with his arm up, holding a towel, looking up at him. So when he come out of the shower, it had his towel every time.
Wow. Oh my God. And you did it?
Oh yeah.
I won't ask you what that cost, but I bet that was
a few years. That was a few years back. We haven't had one since, but that was an odd request.
Besides deer, what's the most popular one?
Bears.
Bear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here in Michigan.
And
definitely.
then what else? What's the next?
Probably we do a lot of work for some of these hunting ranches.
Okay.
And there's one that has a lot of elk.
Okay.
And so we are mounting a lot of elk for these.
Do you ever do coyotes?
Lots of them. Yep.
They mount them, or they use them for rugs?
Both.
Yeah.
We do a lot of them. All like rugs and bobcats. Oh, absolutely. All the predators around here. Red fox, gray fox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coon?
Yeah, we just took a white one in the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
A white
albino,
coon?
pink eyes.
Really?
Yeah, white.
Wow.
Yeah, she's getting a younger gal, getting a life size done on that. That's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, weasels?
No, not so much.
No.
I kind of, believe it or not, like a squirrel or a weasel.
Yeah.
We'd rather do a life size brown bear than a tiny little squirrel. They're just such a pain in the rear. But
Yeah.
all that.
Well, the security is there now, but at first you were a little insecure.
Absolutely.
And then how did you overcome the insecurity once you saw how great you are?
Well,
I know you're a humble guy. I know.
Right,
I don't mean to say you're bragging, but
No, yeah. Just trying to be honest.
how
do
did
the
you
best
become?
we can do.
I've heard a lot of great things about you, and I'm not just saying that to your face. I said it behind your back too. I do talk behind people's back, but anyway, you are one of the best around.
I appreciate that.
What makes that? How did all
think
of a sudden?
pride in your work.
Yeah.
And every mount that I do for a customer, I tell my guys that work this, pretend it's yours.
Yeah.
And you have to go home and look at that on your wall for the rest of your life.
I love it.
Don't just shove it out the door. Pretend it's yours.
Yep, good
and,
for you.
Yeah. And if you keep that mentality, you're going to,
Yeah. How many
it should
guys
go.
working for you now?
I only have 2.
Yeah,
I
that's
could
enough.
use probably 4.
Really?
But, yeah. As I get older, I could use a little more help.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's
it's,
big enough building for you.
Yeah. We grew out of it pretty quick because my brother's business is out of there too. That Rugby Bears, they're a wholesale rugging company that works for taxidermists all over the nation.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So that's awesome. He bought this business, 9 years now, 8-9 years ago. And he moved into that building with me. And so they wholesale, let's say you shot a bear.
Yeah.
You want a bear rug. And you bring me that bear. Well, rugging a bear is way different than taxidermy. There is way more going into that with all the double felt, the backing, the padding, the stretching, all this stuff. So that's what they do. So they wholesale rugs. They do over 800 rugs a year from taxidermists all over the nation.
So most of them bring the bear in and say, I want this for a rug for me.
Yep.
You say you sell them too?
No, not really.
How many people
There's
work for him then?
He has 5. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Guys ever get in arguments who's using the most space? Oh, boy. And you know what's nice, though?
We might lift an eyebrow at each other, but we make sure we don't get on each other's case.
Right.
So.
But you know what? Again, it's a tribute to your mother that you two turned out loving brothers.
Yeah.
Because,
It's
I'm telling you, America is a great place to raise a family if you know how to raise them.
That's right.
But
That's
it all
right.
can be the demise of a family.
Oh, yeah.
So when you see a family get along with, like you two, and like my brother and I did, and that ain't my brother and I doing that. That was mother and dad.
Exactly.
So, I mean, it's parents. Now you have children, and I'm sure you're being a successful parents because you had good mentors.
Yep.
But that goes like the priest preaching again. Fatherless children are the ones that have a problem, and it's sad.
That's right. It is.
But if you look at your success, I love talking to business people and finding out why they're successful. 9 out of 10 because of their mother.
Yeah.
What their mother taught them as a child. And the relationships, how to make relationships and respect and the discipline. And that all comes into play with you there. But anyway, I'm going to take a minute here and reflect on our sponsors, Bobby. It's 8 minutes to 9. We got to thank these guys because without them, I wouldn't be making 6 figures. I want to thank Big Rapids Pennzoil. And folks, let's talk about Big Rapids Pennzoil for a minute. It's spelled Pennzoil. Now, I was drinking the other night when I posted this about the buck pole coming up, and I spelled it Pennsoil. And my good friend, the owner of Pennzoil, or half of it, Kim Wells, texted me and he said, "Where did you go to school?" blank, blank. And I said, "Why is that?"
He spelled that right, too.
You can't spell Pennzoil. And I says, everybody spells different words different ways. And that's why God created us stupid people. He must like us because he created a lot of us.
Well, you were thinking Pennsylvania oil. P-E-N-N-S-O-I, but nope.
Yeah.
It's
But I'll tell you what.
P-E-N-N-C-O-I.
Zach Wells, I'll tell you about a character now. This lady called up. She needed her car fixed relatively quick. Now all the garages are busy, and I know that. But Zach took her in, and my brother called me up and thanked me. He says, those people are the nicest people. He goes, he got her in there, got it fixed when the park got there, blah, blah, blah. Was so excited about the service that they got at Pennzoil Auto and Repair. And I said, you know what you should do is call Kim up, because the greatest compliment a father can get is how good the son is doing. Mm-hmm. And that is the greatest compliment. So I hope Peter did that, because she was just tickled pink. Seth Winger, he's on a cruise right now because he's an insurance man. They're just a little bit above us as far as making money. And him and his family are on a cruise, well-deserved. He works his rear end off from Baldwin to Big Rapids Insurance Company here in town, Winger, right on Perry Street. Phone number 796-077. You know, with these phones nowadays, all you have to do is ask, what's her name? What's her name?
Siri.
Siri, yeah. You ever met her?
No.
No, well,
Actually, no. You know, I have seen. Yeah, my Siri lit up.
Oh my Lord!
See,
yeah,
that's what happens. They're listening.
Well,
But no, actually, I saw they had an interview with the woman who was the voice of Siri.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like you used to see an interview with the woman who was the time operator.
Yeah.
For the telephone.
Yeah.
And you'd call 976-1212 or whatever number you had around here, and it would give you the time.
Well, the other thing about spelling Pennzoil wrong, and I know how to spell it. Hell, I went to St. Mary's through 8th grade. But you can tell I don't use the A1 or whatever you call it. What, the...
What, the oil? Or?
No, the on AI.
Oh, AI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does that stand for?
Artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have any of that, obviously.
Sometimes an oxymoron.
But like I said, Kim, at least you know I don't use that. So when I do something relatively smart on Facebook, well, give me credit because I didn't use AI.
It's OI, organic intelligence. There you go.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah, that.
Gilbert's Carpet Plus.
Right.
I don't know an older name in Big Rapids. Seriously, Bob, do you?
Other than Curry?
Well,
Schuberg.
Schuberg, Curry's.
Yeah.
But Gilbert's.
Yep.
When we date back, Gilbert started with a clothing store downtown Big Rapids. Nori did. Gordy Gilbert's a veterinarian. Todd's taken after Daddy because he couldn't get a job anywhere else, so he became a vet. You know how easy it is to get a vet license?
Is it that easy? I don't know.
I don't know. I was asking you.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
You can doctorate
Big
and
shortage right now.
Huh?
There's a big shortage of vets.
Yeah. But anyway, the Gilbert's a great name here in town, and they got a Carpet Plus color tile down there. George and Tom.
Yep.
Max was
beautiful
their dad.
warehouse. And
Gilbert's are great people.
Yep.
They do a lot for the vets. They do a lot for people in Big Rapids.
Absolutely.
So if you need anything at all, see the Gilbert's Carpet Plus. DW2 Drywall, Dale Wiley's, like I said before, a cancer survivor. He gives back to the community. Anytime I have a fundraiser for anybody that's got cancer, Dale's the first one there. What do you need?
Nice.
And he's a drywaller here in town. Frank works for him. I can't get any young guys to work. I mean, there's young guys, good young guys out there. I got 2 good young guys working for me and my sons, and I got some good employees. I don't know if they're that good, but we won't go there anymore. No, I'm just teasing you. Just a joke there, lighten you up a little bit, folks. Don't take it so seriously. Michigan Landscape and Excavate, Jeff Garrett, owner. He's a young guy trying to make it through life, and he's took the risk. Got to give him credit.
Yeah.
Doing a great
big investment
job.
in all that equipment.
Yeah. So if you need something like that, look him up, Jeff Garrett from Michigan Landscape and Excavate. And now I got Casey Nemeth.
Right.
He's a kind of a partner of mine with Buck Pole here.
Yep.
He's coming in next week. Had to pray for him last week. He had a bad foot there.
Ah, okay.
Something happened there. He said he probably overworked it. He's a big fella. But anyway, Under Sheriff in Mecosta County doing a great job. Helped Brian get reelected amongst the 4,500 people who voted for him. But anyway, Casey and I are putting this Buck Pole on, and him and Kyle, not Kyle, it's Cal. I always call him Kyle. Once I get a name to a face, it's hard for me to change it.
I hear you.
It's Cal. Cal's a great partner of his over at Barrington Firearms and Training there in Barrington on 18 Mile Road, I think. But anyway, that being said, he's going to help me again. They're going to be setting up a tent there, and we're going to be selling tickets. Now, this year, he's going to be giving away 3 guns. You can buy a ticket at Curries, and then I think Braja is going to help us sell because we're going to give the profit, all the profit. Normally I get an administrative fee of 50%.
Right, yeah.
I'm not going to do that this time.
Okay.
I'm going to give it to them. Braja is going to get all the proceeds, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You know? Now, talking about that, Jeff, I got to ask you guys what you think. I got Colby here.
All right, before you keep going, there's WBZX Big Rapids.
0.9?
Yeah, B1039.
B103.
No point.
It's already. I've
The
been
station
talking
has
for
no
8
point.
minutes
Yeah.
on advertising.
I know, but I have to give the name of the station.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Top of the hour.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, federal government and all.
But anyway, folks, on the buck pole, we're going to talk more to Jeff here about that. Is this year instead of last year? I kind of screwed up. It was the first one we had, so give me a little help here. This year, instead of the 12-point, going to get the big gun that we're going to put up there. Was yet to determine what gun it's going to be. I'm going to get like 4 or 5 guns, and we're going to classify these as 10 or better, or maybe we go 10, 12, 10, 8, 6. Not so sure about the 4 yet. I want your thoughts on that. But anyway, say we're going to have, so 12, 10, 8, 6. We're going to have 4 guns. And then there's going to be a chance, not for the top guy to get the best one. We're going to take those 4 winners in that category, throw them in a bowl, and if the 6-point guy gets pulled out first, he gets the pick of the best gun. Because too often we get this one guy that gets the 12-point and takes all the prizes around the area. We're not going to do that. This guy might only get a shotgun. So, but everybody gets a chance. Now, that being said, we're going to have one more gun for everybody that comes in and participates with the buck. They're going to have a chance at winning a nice gun. So they're going to have a nice price. Somebody out of, maybe we'll get $50, whatever. Hopefully we'll double what we got last year. That guy's going to have a nice gun too. Plus we have a lot of sponsors. We're going to have a lot of gift baskets. So I can see about 15, 20 guys getting something out of this. So we're really excited about this year. And thanks to Jeff, I think you're the top dog on your shoulder mount. I'll let you talk about that a little bit. But we really appreciate it because I just called Jeff last week. I've been kind of slow on getting this thing together, but we got time. Get the buck pole up there, and Jeff, grand prize, top dog. But then again, it's going to be up to you who's going to get that shoulder mount. I don't know if it's going to be the most unusual, or what's your thoughts on that? I just kind of want to run that by you. And I know we're on the air and putting you on a spot here.
Oh, yeah,
we're comfortable.
Yeah. So as when you break that down into 12, 10, 8, 6, whatever, are you talking like the biggest 6-point, the biggest 8-point?
Well, I want your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean,
8, 9 points, 6, 7.
Colby in on this one.
Okay, Colby, we'll talk.
I'm kind of thinking, I'm old school a little bit. I'm like, biggest buck gets the best prize.
Okay.
You know, because that hunter's probably going to feel that way. Well, I shot biggest buck. You know? And then how you're going to score it, too, to be the,
Right.
But I do think that's pretty cool. If you were to do something of that category where a 6-point can win something big because he shot this, 18-inch wide 6-point with 10-inch, twos on it. But yeah, no, I think we could sit down and figure something out like that.
Well, Jeff, talk about your shoulder mount, what it all entails, and it's an expensive prize.
Yeah.
So if you see fit, that's why I call it kind of like a committee. I really appreciate your input. If you want the shoulder mount to go to the top dog, that's what we'll do, and then we'll take the rest of them, throw them in a barrel and draw there. That's fine too. But think about it,
because he's going to want that buck mounted, no doubt, and that'll save him $900 to.
Right.
That he don't have to shell out to get that buck mounted. You know what I mean? Because if he shoots the biggest buck, it's probably going on his wall. So.
All right. So that's pretty much. Well, Casey, you hear that? That's pretty much done with. Yeah, I never thought of that, to be honest with you. Yeah. Because you wouldn't want a 6-point mounted shoulder mount.
Right. We do, but.
So, yeah.
But not like the biggest buck,
Right.
But yeah, we were more than happy. We're donating that. Any turn, any way you want it. We'll do it for a wall mount, for a shoulder mount for the wall.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think that'll go over well.
Well, that's pretty good, isn't it, Bob?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a big prize. Have you ever seen a deer shoulder mounted?
I know
you've probably seen deer mounted.
Yeah.
But
the shoulder mount is going down the midsection a bit and getting all of that. Yeah, okay.
So you have seen a deer mount?
I don't recall. You know.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. But we're gonna have to talk about that a little bit. So
I've
the
seen some
shoulder
big
mount-
mounts, but you know,
Pardon?
I've seen some big mounts through the years, but
Deer
I don't know, elk, and you know, go to the elk club, see an elk. You know,
You're getting sexist here, Bobby.
Yeah.
Mountain here. Hey, we got Casey Bettis with us. Great guy here in the community.
Colby.
Oh, yeah. What did I call you?
Casey.
All right, I've been called worse.
Colby.
Well, I'll tell you what.
There's no way I am this guy.
It started when my mother hit 70, and I'm afraid it might be hitting me a little bit. That's why I like to get on the radio as much as I can, because someday Bobby's going to say, beep, you're done. All right, Colby. Yeah, I had Casey on my mind on this deer thing. Colby Bettis. Great father, great son, great husband. You got the whole package, and I know you blame Glenna, your mother. Your mother's
100%.
Glenna. And then your daddy, Skipper. What's his real
We
name?
think so. James.
Gosh, did you know that, Bob?
That skipper's name was James?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think he always knew him as Skipper, you know?
I bet they don't call him St. James.
No. Anybody that comes looking for James, we know
right.
either with the government or with law enforcement.
Oh, yeah.
Or once a bill paid.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we're going to give you a few minutes here, Colby. Talk to us while you're on the radio this morning. I know over historically, you guys do a lot of fundraisers out there, and the one that touches me the most, and gosh darn it, I think it's just really nice as you give the special needs kids a day at the ranch. And my brother was special needs back when he was alive and lived 48 years. He was the angels of our life here in Big Rapids. A lot of people were touched by Bobby. Back in the day, they would call it mentally, the R word. My sister keeps correcting me. It's Down syndrome. And so my brother Bobby had that. And boy, he probably enjoyed life better than all the rest of us because he just loved people and people loved him. I don't think he had an enemy. But that being said, let's talk about this fundraiser that you got coming up here.
Yeah. We've got the Sporting Clays course out there and all this hurricane stuff that hit out east. We were just sitting around the office doing little or nothing, which, is what we do most of the time.
Right.
And Adam, the guy that kind of runs our the club stuff, shooting stuff out there, says, "Man, we ought to. How can we do something?" And he came up with this idea of let's just put on a quick fundraiser for the disaster relief out there. We're going to send all the money straight to Samaritan's Purse, which they're doing amazing work out there. It's actually right there in their backyard. They're right in the middle of it, and so, boy, it's been just kind of a quick deal, but people are showing up. We got a ton of guns to give out. We got a ton of prizes, guns, hunting trips, gear, you name it. Just got a ton of different prizes. Some pretty good sponsors. I think I don't know where we're at right now. I think we're probably close to 10, 15 grand that we're going to be able to send right now. And so yeah, just trying to figure out, what can we do from Michigan, to help these folks out there that are, they're going to have a rough go here for a while. And so this Saturday, November 2nd at 8:00, we're having a fundraising Sporting Clay shoot at the ranch. It's going to be 75 targets. It's going to include lunch, ammo, prizes, the whole 9 yards. So
You have to bring your own gun?
for the most part, if you need a shotgun, we'll get you one.
Bird shot or slug?
7.5 slugs are going to be tough. Slugs are going to be tough.
Well, I got a pretty good eye.
But we got yes. So yeah, all the ammo is going to be provided, so you don't have to,
Really?
12
Just
gauge
bring
or
your
20,
gun.
and just bring your shotgun. Yeah.
Wow.
It's a great course. It's fun to shoot. People have a ball doing it. It's kind of like, as we've talked on here before, it's kind of like golf with a shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So how much is it then? What are you expecting to get?
So if you're just coming by yourself, it's $125, and again that includes all the clays.
Goes to donation.
Yeah, that's right. And all this is we're doing this through Quest Ministries, our group that does all the youth hunts and education stuff. So it's all, you can write it all off. So it's $125 if you're coming just as a single. If you've got 3 other buddies that want to come with you, it's $400. So you save $25 a man.
So what time does it start?
8 a.m.
8? That's pretty early. That's going to be cold. No?
We're out.
Ranch time? 8 a.m. middle of the day. 4:30 is when things get going,
So that's when the doors open. You come, we'll start registration, have a cup of coffee,
sure,
and then shooting. Well, I think we typically start shooting about 9:30.
Okay.
And then so we'll shoot, then we'll go back to the lodge, talk about how great we all shot,
right,
and have a good meal.
Yeah.
Hand out some prizes and go from there.
Yeah. Any breakfast or anything? Can a guy buy breakfast that day out there?
I don't know if they're doing breakfast or not.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a good question. I don't have that on here. Maybe we'd do donuts or something like that. Something easy.
Or maybe Hooked at Curries could get you some sausage and those, what do you call them? Sandwiches we make.
The breakfast rigs?
The
breakfast big rigs, isn't it?
No, come on, Bob.
I don't know.
See, no, you don't know. That bothers me. You should know my product.
No, I know the big rig because
it ain't nachos and cheese, I'll tell you
would
that.
just hammer and big rig.
Yeah, we got to get him back on.
Yeah.
Next Tuesday,
he
folks,
knows what it is because he has it every day.
He broke his arm there, and he's coming along pretty good, and he wishes us all a good day. There's a guy, I don't really like him, but I'm inspired by him. I'll tell you what, 87 years old, and he hides pain. He hides, he doesn't want anybody feeling sorry for him, maybe a little bit. But
and president of the school board.
I mean, okay. But anyway, I'm inspired by him. 87 years old. He gets up every morning, tries to get into Curry's there as early as he can. He plays cribbage every day, keeps his mind going, and I just can't say enough. If everybody, I don't say try to emulate him in all aspects of life, but as far as getting up and going, he's a great hero to me. So we all wish you well, Pete. But anyway, getting back, Colby, so you're not so sure about breakfast, but maybe that's something.
Yeah, maybe something we can add on.
Let us know. We can advertise for you a little bit. I hope everybody gets out there because I'm going to see what I got going Saturday. I've always wanted to shoot clay pigeons, but the best I ever did was shooting at crows. And I winged a hawk last year.
That's good.
I found out later that I'm not supposed to do that, but it was going after my chickens.
Self-defense.
And 22 scope. Unfortunately, I had to buy my neighbor a new window and a little bit of siding because of the automatic gun. I didn't know if he pulled the trigger that 6 were going to go off. But anyway, I'm only kidding you guys there. Life's good, isn't it? Life's been good out at Two Hats Ranch.
Life is always a challenge. Depending on the Lord daily, it's a good thing. And so, the business world these days is always a challenge. And I cannot complain at all.
Yeah. So you got some big hunts coming up out there.
We got hunters in camp right now. This is the season, so this is a great time, and we love the fall.
Now, we won't see one of his big bucks at the buck pole, right? Boy, that'd be something. See a 16-point coming in. Oh, I got that out by Clear Lake. Yeah, right. Yeah. Have you ever hunted, Bob?
I have not. As I've always said, sides of barns mock me. Did some 22 in the Boy Scouts, the little ones, and then tried to clay pigeons.
What's your thoughts on killing an animal? I mean, I know you're
if
pretty
it's for
liberal.
food, no. But for subsistence, if you're just doing it, let me mow down this whole field. Yeah, no. I mean, there's some ethics in there.
Okay.
But if you're doing it to feed your family, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, God put those creatures for a purpose.
Yeah.
You're a pretty good shot, Jeff.
Oh, I have my moments.
Yeah.
Where I wonder how I
hunt?
missed that, but
When do you find time to hunt? Because soon as deer hunt comes,
it's
you're going
busy.
to be busy.
It's a problem about being in the business.
It is. It's like, what I do here. I love hunting, so I became a taxidermist. I don't know. That's a little weird.
I know. Yeah. So you hunt over in Barrington?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, come this time of year. I don't hunt like pretty much all October, but once the end of October, first days of November come in, I try to get in the stand on the weekends. And then we do a hunt down in South Texas, my wife and I.
Oh, you do?
Pretty much got to get away for a couple days right before the gun blast goes, and we are going to be so busy.
Good for you.
Yeah, like through the 7th through the 12th, we go on to South Texas deer hunt. It's
really?
It's amazing. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Awesome. Do they have woods down there?
It's brush country.
Yeah.
Very brushy. Your trees are maybe 12 feet high at the most
What
of
do
the
they
time.
eat off? They're good
all
farms.
that.
Trees.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's not much there, but it is high protein.
It is.
Tell I've never been to Texas. But I always think of sand, but
Right.
it's not sand.
No,
it's got a lot of country there.
There's a lot of country.
We go to East Texas. It looks very similar to this, where we're from. Mm-hmm. It looks just like Michigan, really.
Right next to Alabama,
Louisiana. One of the two.
No, I'm only.
Yeah, no,
Let's
it's a
take
lot
a
of fun.
break, Bob.
Yeah, take a quick break.
I got to
for
smoke a
sponsors.
cigarette.
There you go. Yeah,
I'll be right
How
back.
about a gas tank? Right. Yeah.
There you
absolutely.
go, yeah.
It's like 16.
I don't know
after
of
nine.
anybody that smokes anymore.
Yeah. 21039.
Hey, ladies, if you're going to be in the woods this opening deer season weekend, then good luck. If not, the Bearton Firearms Training Center knows where you should be at their ladies only CPL course. Saturday, November 16th is the Bearton Firearms Training Center ladies only concealed pistol license course. This female focused, one day all inclusive CPL course that includes the use of firearms, ammunition, eye and ear protection, coffee and donuts in the morning, and lunch at noon, all for just $99. That's right, ladies, just $99 gets you everything needed to take the police department instructed course that includes the training necessary to safely load, unload, handle, and store your firearm. You will also be trained on when it's legal to defend yourself with a firearm under Michigan's Stand Your Ground law and the Castle Doctrine. Call 231-250-7257 or go online at michigancpltraining.com to register for this ladies only CPL course. Get armed, get trained this November 16th at the Bearton Firearms Training Center.
Gilbert's Carpets Plus Color Tile is having a sale to prepare for their grand reopening. Prices have dropped. Current stock has got to go so they can make room for their new inventory. Remnants, rugs, luxury vinyl plank, carpet, or tile. Stop on in and browse their huge selection to find your favorite finish. Stop in or call 231-796-2700. Gilbert's Carpets Plus Color Tile on Northland Drive in the south side of Big Rapids.
I'm Seth Wenger from Wenger Insurance. For more than 100 years, we've been providing professional service and competitive insurance to West Michigan. Come visit us on Perry Street in Big Rapids or give us a call at 796-0778. We're here for you now, and we'll be here when you need us most. 796-0778.
Okay, we're back.
Okay,
Little
Bobby, here we go.
off-air conversation going on here.
Oh,
Yeah,
Mama,
a little
stop
prompting.
Yep.
Little
Well,
prompting.
she's right, though.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to forget you folks out there. A little more information on the buck pole, and then we're going to go back to Colby. So is that okay if we go back and forth, Bob, or
Absolutely.
not? Or should we go with Colby and then go to the
Talk
buck
about
pole?
how to do it, and then we can repeat that later.
How to do what?
Because people tune in and out. How to get involved in the buck pole.
How do you
get
think?
your buck on the pole?
Well, first of all, you got to go and get some gun
That's the
ammunition.
first step. Yeah.
And
Start right at
shoot
the
that
beginning
big
here.
buck. Well, I'll tell you real quick.
First, you have to wake up.
Last year we did it for Thursday through Sunday, I think it was, and that went over real well. Unfortunately, I wanted to go the whole 2 weeks. This year we are. We're going to go from 15th to the 30th, 31st, whatever,
Yep.
to the end. So we're going to go that whole 2 weeks or 15 days of deer hunting, rifle season deer hunting.
Yep.
Bring your buck in. We're going to score it same way we did it last year. Now you're going to ask me how we score. Can't tell you right now. I forgot, but I remember
Proprietary, yeah.
Bruce Borkovich is going to show me again. Bruce has got a good way of scoring them.
He can add.
Yep.
Got a calculator and everything. Yeah.
Bruce turned 66 today.
Wow, nice.
So if you want to give him a birthday present, go vote for him.
There
He's
you go.
running for supervisor of Big Rapids Township. Seriously, the day I met Bruce, you've met Bruce, right?
I don't know if
Jeff?
I have.
Well, you'd like him. The only people that don't like Bruce are the ones that don't know him.
Right.
He's a true American outdoorsman. He's wrote The Wild Thing. His book is on sale right now at Curries Amico. I've sold literally hundreds of books, and everybody that's read them has really enjoyed the book. it's about life experiences that Bruce had with the DNR. He was undercover for several years or whatever, like 100, I think it was. And he really preserved the wildlife up north because he caught a lot of bad guys. I would never have done because I'm a chicken. Beep. But anyway, he did it. He's a big man. He can handle himself well. You know, a few people have offended him over the last several months because of the position he's taken on certain buildings that they wanted to build here. And I look at those same people and I'm thinking to myself, 20 years ago, if you talked that way about him or to him, you'd find yourself on the floor. Because back then, somebody would kick your you-know-what if you talked that way. Today, they just want you to talk that way or hit somebody so they can sue you. So he can't defend himself physically. I wish he could, because I'd like to see some ass kicking him down. But anyway, that being said, happy birthday, Bruce. I voted for you. And I hope every good, true American votes for you, because we need leadership like yours in there. And for you people that have some kind of doubt about it, you haven't met the guy yet. Once you meet him, you'll love him. Vote for Bruce Borkovich. Anyway, Jason Cruz, too. I'll throw his name in there, too, Green Township. Jason's done a great job. He's got his critics, too. But Jason's going to overcome all that and be a good supervisor again. Re-elect Jason Cruz.
If you need a voter's guide, just drive by the station.
There you go. Yeah. We got too many signs out here.
Nah, never enough.
All right, so getting back to the Buck Pole. This is a non-political station, by the way.
Yeah. Okay.
The Buck Pole, we're going to have it every day and every night. Bring your buck in at your convenience. Evenings, suggested evenings, because it's a little cooler. Anyway, we got a nice buck pole made by Doug Rant right here from Zott's Bar and Grill. And I want to thank Doug, and I want to thank Big Rapids Lumber for the discount on the lumber that they gave me last year. So that being said, every day the criteria is going to be, like I said, we're going to score you. We're going to take a picture of you. And last year I kind of screwed up because this one gentleman, the winner of it all, came in with this beautiful buck. And right away I posted it on Facebook. And a lot of my friends, I call them friends, called up and said, I'm not bringing mine in. I can't beat him. So that stopped him. So this year what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead with that top dog. Come on in, get him registered that you're the top dog. Sounds like Jeff wants you to have the shoulder mount. So you definitely, the biggest buck's going to have the first prize is going to be a shoulder mount. Now, the next one will be 10 or better. That'd be 10, 11. Then it'll be 8, 9. And then it'll be 6, 7. I don't know about the 4 or 5. I want your guys' thoughts on that. But we're kind of up in the air on that one. Probably not.
You have a special prize for one?
Well, so anyway, so
deer.
6, 8, 10.
1 point.
So that's 3 guns. The big guy's going to get the shoulder mount. So the next ones are going to get a gun that we're going to throw their name in the bucket, and they're going to draw out their name. First guy gets the best gun, second, third. Right? So we're going to have 3 guns there. Now you can buy tickets for Casey's going to donate or give us a heck of a good deal on 3 guns. That all the money's going to go to Braja. That's a separate thing. Getting back to the deer. And then I think what we're going to do is have maybe the most unusual rack. What's your thoughts on that, Jeff? And what is an unusual rack? Is that the one that goes down into the jar or whatever, maybe something like that? So that kind of gives that guy a chance to win something, Yep,
that'd be fun.
Yeah, we're gonna have all kinds of different criteria that's gonna get you a prize. But we have a lot of great sponsors. I could probably get them out here and say them, but we only got like 7 minutes, or we're gonna go to 10.
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. Oh, wow, we're going to go to 10. Well, then I will announce who the sponsors are right now. And, Jeff, you got us another sponsor. Let's talk about them.
Yeah, I do. DeLines Deer Processing up in Reed City, just a little bit northwest of Reed City. Superb people.
Yeah, they are.
Brothers Mike and Lou DeLine and their family members. They run a top shelf deal up there. They offer everything, from all your specialty sausages and all that stuff, but number one is your deer you get back. And these guys are just genuine people. They're farmers up there, and I've known these guys. I literally have cut meat for 16 years, processed my own deer, just because I like doing that. I know where my deer's been.
Right.
I take my deer to DeLines now. I don't worry about processing because these guys, they're so trustworthy.
And that is where?
That is just a little bit northwest of Reed City.
Deer Lake Road or what?
Oh boy, is that the county line road goes north, Lake Ola, I think.
Yeah.
Go up there. Go up north of there. And it's up there about 4 or 5 miles. You come to this 32nd road.
Okay.
It's kind of in the middle of
Did he buy
nowhere.
Wilson's out? Was that Wilson's?
That's exactly it.
Oh, okay.
That's exactly it.
Oh, that's a nice facility.
Yeah.
Very
super.
clean. Yeah, they got the facility made for that.
Oh, they're so set up.
The DeLines, they're good people.
They are.
Yeah.
They got good hearts. They take care of you up there.
Yeah.
Yep.
The ones I've met anyway have always been very respectful and good people. Like you say, you know. And you know what? For you to refer them, they got to be good because you've done it your whole life.
That's it.
You know.
Yeah.
You know
exactly.
the facility and stuff like that.
Yep.
That's nice. And they do it all.
They do everything. They'll take care of you. And
how many years they've been there, Jeff?
I think this is, I can't be right on top, but it's at least 3 or 4. Yeah. Where they kind of kept the Wilson's name for a little bit until to let people realize they were there.
Yeah.
Then they got their own name going.
Yeah, the old boy did a nice job for a lot of years at Wilson.
Yeah.
Gosh,
and also I want to tell you, Veterans Day special. If a veteran brings a deer in day before, day of, day after, they get a free standard cut deer. So they take care of the vets up there, which is nice.
Yeah.
And they're getting a food plot seed deal going with, what did I call that? Thornton Agriculture.
Yeah.
Jack Thornton, I think they said his name was. They want to donate some food plot seed to the Buck Pole also, along with some bunch of deer processing.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I called Jeff up last week, and I know it's a little late, but I'm hoping you're still going to sponsor the Buck Pole. Oh, definitely will. He said, not only am I, but my good friends at DeLines are going to do it too, and they're going to give away some processing, deer processing up there. And then today, I recognize he's got another one. So Jeff, he's marketing that Buck Pole. So folks, it's going to be a great one. I'm telling you, we got some great sponsors. I'll get on my Facebook page here, and you can get on it too, folks, and read the sponsors. I don't want to miss anybody, but I know for sure. Get on it, Bob.
Okay. What am I getting on here? I'm getting on our sponsors. We're going to take our second break here while you're doing that.
Yeah, go ahead.
We're going to do that and be back with more of Curry's Corner on B1039.
A trusted landscape design starts with the right team, and the right team to discuss what can be is Michigan Landscape and Excavate. This team is led by Michigan lifer Jeff Garrett. Jeff has assembled a team that knows that high customer satisfaction is why they stay in business. He requires his team to be the most professional service you've ever worked with for both residential and commercial accounts. Grading and land sculpting, trenching, excavating, septic systems, bulldozing, retaining walls, hydro seeding, seasonal cleanup, one-offs. They're a full-service landscape and excavation contractor. Michigan Landscape and Excavate create complete landscape solutions to be uniquely personal. As they say, now that's magazine-worthy. They're committed to excellence. Text or call 231-349-4667 or email michigan.landscape.excavate@gmail.com.
Dale, I've known for many, many years, and I tell you what, when somebody needs some help, he's there. Just like your typical Mecosta County resident, Dale Whaley is a good American. So if you're ever looking for a drywaller for free estimate, call Dale. I'm telling you, you're going to be happy with his work. I have recommended Dale to a lot of people, and you know what the greatest compliment I've ever gotten is thanks for sending Dale. He did a great job for me. Guy's just fantastic. Just not only is a drywaller, but DW2 drywalling, but just a great person. It doesn't hurt to have him come into Curry's either. There's just so many good things about Dale. He's just a great American, and give him a call, DW2 Drywall at 231-679-0475. That's right, 231-679-0475. Dale Whaley is DW2 Drywall. Greatest guy on drywalling end of it.
Pennzoil in Big Rapids is your quick-stop shop for oil changes and so much more. With certified techs and 35 years experience, they'll have you in and out in a flash. and a free car wash with every service. And don't forget about tires. As quickly as the seasons change in Michigan, it's easy to lose your grip. Luckily, Pennzoil in Big Rapids has the tires you need to dominate all seasons in Michigan. Big tires, fast tires, grippy tires, sleek tires. Go see Zach Wells at Big Rapids Pennzoil today. He'll get you back on the road and ready to roll. That's Big Rapids Pennzoil, located at 710 North State Street, or give them a call at 231-796-4730.
9:30 on B1039. So, Pat, if you would reintroduce our guests as we come back.
Jeff Tyson from Woodland Taxidermy right here in Paris, Michigan. He's got a big business going up there. He's doing a great job for the community and the surrounding areas in Michigan. So if you need anything mounted at all, animal-wise, go see Jeff. He can take care of you. I mean, he doesn't do squirrels. We found that out in rats. But
rats.
Jeff, I did have a man text me and ask me, do you do pets?
No, absolutely not.
No pets.
No, that's one thing I just couldn't get into.
Why is that, I wonder?
Pets
Sensitive?
have personalities.
I know.
And, I just couldn't do the work on that. And, that an owner knows their pet.
Yeah.
They know every facial expression on that dog or that cat. And if you were to return that without that look, that's going to ruin it.
Yeah. So me asking you to, because I don't really want to be buried or cremated. You would stuff me.
I might, but probably don't.
You put Pat's head in a gas station. That would be great.
Oh my Lord!
Keeping an eye.
My wife would kill you.
Keeping an eye on you, Pat Curry.
Yeah, really put me in here, stuff me in here, and then, oh my Lord. I won't ask you to do. Well, maybe I will, but boy, we're getting a little bit off. Hey, I want to thank my sponsors. I don't want to forget them real quick. And I have them right here, except for DeLine. I don't have him in here, I don't think yet, but I'm going to read them off. I do have them. Sam's Disposal. Ben Ross has accepted that challenge and given us a big prize. He'll probably be part of the gun deal. And, of course, we got Jeff with us in the studio and Colby Bettis here with us. But anyway, we've got Sam's Disposal, Woodland Taxidermy, DeLine's Deer Processing, D&J Asphalt. That's my brother-in-law, Jeff Mayo. I didn't even ask him, and I put his name in here because I know he's going to help me with a gun. Jeff has already said, you betcha, Pat, whatever you need. Big Rapids Pennzoil, spell it right, Pennzoil. And I text that to Kim, make sure he knew I spelled it right. And along with KMK, and that's Kim and Kevin Wells down there with their son, Christian. And he has the machine shop down in Rogers Heights, and they're doing real well. So they're co-sponsoring Big Rapids Pennzoil. They're going to buy a gun. Barrington Firearms and Training Center, and without those guys, they give us a great deal on the guns, and they spend a lot of time at the gas station too. Casey does, and Cal selling tickets, and they're drawing a lot of people in there. So I want to thank Cal and Casey for a great job from Barrington Firearms and Training Center right here in Barrington, Michigan. And then we got Winger Insurance. He was a sponsor last year. I've already talked to him on his great sponsoring of this radio show here, Seth Winger. We got a new one, Tyler Schubert from Schubert Insurance, long time, probably the oldest. Well, I know they're the oldest insurance company in town. We've had it with them since, I think, 1948. Tyler does a great job. He's a fourth generation right there at Schubert Insurance, big sponsor this year. Curry's Bright and Shiny Car Wash. Can't be more proud than my sons, both of them equally. I'm a little harder on Adam, so he got himself a couple of car washes to get away from me, but they're a sponsor. Cassidy Deer Processing right outside of Hershey there. Does a great job out there. And then M&M Collision. Can't say enough about Matt and Dion over there. They're just two great guys. They're doing a great job for your collision work. Scott's Bar and Grill. My favorite watering hole. I can't say enough about them, but I love Doug and Roxanne. And I tell you what, I give a little bit back to community, but nothing like Doug does. Doug is probably the biggest. When it comes to money, he gives so much, I just can't believe it. But you know what? It doesn't come from so much the pocketbook as it comes from his heart. Doug has a big heart. Oh, he can be cranky at times, but we don't bring that up. JR Customer and Collision. You know, there's a guy out there at the car center north of town here, Jason Rakoff. Started with nothing, now he's got something. I always tell people, if you want to be somebody someday, or if you want something in life and someday, start with nothing. you got nothing to lose but everything to gain. And Jason Rakoff is a true American, showing you that his business is working real well for you and the community here. Does a great job fixing your cars. Last but not least, Curry's Amico and Towing. I think I'm probably the smartest, the greatest businessman ever to ever be brought into Big Rapids. I'm very humbled by the way I speak about myself. You all know I'm just teasing you. I've been lucky to live in Big Rapids, and just like these sponsors here, we all been lucky because we've getting supported by the local people. Just like this radio station, to keep it going, they have supporters that advertise on this. And if you'd like to be an advertiser, get a hold of me or Jen or Bob or what's the new guy's name?
Kyle.
There you go. I was just playing a game with you. I
know who it is.
And then who's the other one we got coming in on the new one?
Thornton Agriculture.
Yep.
For
where are they at?
Yeah. Oh, geez.
Am I throwing something out there I shouldn't?
No, actually.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, actually, I think they bought the old Pullens in Hersey.
Oh, yeah, they did, didn't they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's out of there.
Yeah, good for him. Yeah, so they're locally here and going to be a big sponsor. So like I said, if you guys want to sponsor the Buck Pole, I'll do some advertising for you. Bob and I do a great job, don't we, Bob? Marketing business.
Yeah.
If you'd like to, it's relatively cheap, and you're sponsoring something that has been a historical tradition in Mecosta County and actually Michigan and throughout the country. But, I am so proud. I've taken my grandkids out with a 22 scope and showed them how to shoot. I know you're thinking, ooh, that could be dangerous. But they got a good eye. They got a good eye, and we got a target out there we shoot at. And hopefully they'll never have to defend their Constitution. But, in fact, if they do, they're going to know that Papa showed them how to shoot. So anyway, being that said, Colby, you got some more things coming.
Oh, we always got stuff coming. Well, we got the shoot this weekend. That's coming.
Yeah.
Let's remind Two Hats Ranch, because, people are like, who's that?
Bob, if I didn't, you do it, so that's why I got you here. I love you, Bob.
I'm supposed to just shut up and let you guys talk.
You're
leaving room for Bob.
I love you. I'm not gay or nothing, but I'm just saying I love you. It comes from the heart, not from the... But anyway, Colby, you got something going on with some schools or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Well, you were just talking about, teaching your grandkids to shoot. Super important. It's not coming up. It'll be coming back around next year. We just did it. We were just talking about in the break how we did a couple of weeks ago. We just had a couple of schools. We had the Career Center, the culinary department out from the Career Center, and then we had a couple of classes from Gladwin High School that came out. They got a chance to shoot on the 1,000-yard range. Applied Ballistics, which is one of the top ballistics companies in the world, research and stuff, brought a rifle up. Let the kids shoot. Most of them hit 1,000 yards.
Wow.
So let them shoot. They had fun doing that. Then we went to the skinny shed, and we had a bunch of does hanging in there. They got to cut up, learn how to process game, which is, you were talking if you don't know where your food comes from, right, then that's a bad thing. And so they got to whittle on deer, learn how to cut steaks, learn how to grind burger, all that kind of stuff. And then we took them into the kitchen with the chef, and the chef taught them how to cook.
That's
they
awesome.
cooked a venison recipe, and before they left, they got to eat what they cut up. And what a great experience that was for those kids. And this was just kind of a proof of concept this year to see if it works, and it was great. The teacher from Gladwin is retiring this year. He's been teaching for 100 years or so. He thought this was the best field trip that he's ever been on in his life. So it was great watching these kids go from not too sure about what they're doing to just having a ball. So,
I got to ask you, did you go to college?
Oh, for a long time, yes, sir.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well,
several different colleges.
You're kind of like a chip off the old block. You got a little bit of your mother and a lot of your dad in you. But my hat's off to you guys. You've marketed that place because there is a need for it, obviously, and the people see that need and they go out there. But you haven't touched on it. But I tell you, a lot of people go out there on weekends and eat just to have a good supper. You don't have a liquor license, so you're not pushing beer and whiskey to sit around and drink all night, but you do have a fabulous menu every weekend. And that being said, who picks that menu?
Oh, we got chef in-house, Chef Aaron. Chef Aaron does a fantastic job, makes a new menu. It's about every other weekend, but he loves getting creative.
Now, Aaron, I might be mistaken, but everybody gets to start someplace. I believe he got to start at McDonald's.
He is actually. It was funny. He was a student at the Career Center.
Oh,
and so I'm almost sure. Local kid has done great.
What's the last name?
Aaron Haight.
Haight. Okay. Yeah. Good.
Yeah. Does a fantastic job.
It's a good name. That's something you guys don't do out there. You don't hate.
Righteous
people, yeah.
Righteous hate, righteous anger.
Your dad's still pretty much involved.
He is, he's kind of semi-retired. He just does what he wants to do. Kind of like you down at the shop, He just kind of hangs out. And,
right, that's enough said. Gets in trouble. My son Matt asked me to leave. Do you ask him to leave sometimes?
Never to his face.
No, not to his face. Yeah, well, at least my boy, he tells me right up front, it's time for you to leave now. It's kind of nice to be told that. My dad used to tell me that too, so hell, I'm getting on both ends of my life. My dad used to say, you're fired. Now my son's telling me to leave. Yeah. Oh,
it's a natural progression.
I had a lot of in-between good times here in Big Rapids. So
family business is great.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? But you guys stay busy. You've been a real added attraction for Big Rapids. But those dinners on weekends, let's talk about those a little bit. You have them on Friday and Saturday, right?
Yeah, Friday and Saturdays about twice a month. During the fall, it's a little bit tougher because it's hunting season and we got stuff going on. But yeah, you can go. Now you go right to the website. You can see what the next menu is, what the next few dates are. Sign right up right on the website. It's super easy. It's a different menu every time, and so and you don't order it. Just that's what we're having, and you show up, bring your crew, and have a nice time. And it's not like a regular restaurant.
You have to make reservations.
Have to make reservations. Yeah,
because you can't just walk in there and expect to have a table for 8.
Well, yeah, that's going to be tough. We rarely turn people away if we don't have to, right?
Yeah,
but you want to be sure.
Full house, don't you?
Yes, yeah.
And you have a 2-part deal there, don't you? Don't you have it like some people eat at 5 or 6?
Yeah, we open up about 4:30, 5 o'clock will be when we start seating, and then we last seating is going to be 7, 8 o'clock. So.
What's the most you can accommodate out there? I mean, at a table.
At a table, we try to stick to parties of 10 or less. So we're all about quality. And
you are. Yeah. Mm-hmm. How many seat there? Like you got 40 or?
At one time we can seat about 60.
And then you have that little dining room in the back. So a family or get together for a birthday or something, you have that separated a little bit in that back.
Yeah, or out on the patio if weather's nice.
But
we're kind of moving
that little room in the back, because we had a party back there one time. I think it was, I can't say what it was, but it was a little party.
Yeah.
The long table back there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 14 of us, I think.
Yeah, we fit that fairly easy. So yeah, there's a few different rooms, fireplace. It's nice ambiance.
How about if somebody wanted to get away for a weekend? Do you rent little rooms out there?
We don't do individual rooms anymore. Yeah, but corporate outings, things of that nature. Come, shoot. That's really what we're pushing hard is corporate outings with this sporting clay stuff. Now, group can come, 5 or 10 people. Bring your customers, bring the folks in the business, employees. Yeah. Shoot a little bit, have a little meeting, have a little food. Increase productivity.
My mind wanders as we were saying that about the private settings and private rooms, and you have beautiful bedrooms. I've toured your place, but the old saying was this man texted his wife and he didn't get the spelling quite right and the verbiage, but it said something like, gosh, honey, I'm having a great time. I wish you were her. And
yeah, that'll get you in trouble.
Yeah, I thought of that one. Yeah, I like that. Honey, I'm having a great time this weekend. I wish you were her.
Yes.
That didn't go over too well.
No, I bet not. I bet not.
No. But anyway, so yeah, you've done well. Jeff, I want to thank you and Colby. Both you guys are young and you're going to be around here for a long, long time. And, is there any negatives to being in business, Jeff?
Not enough to persuade me to do anything else.
Right.
Yeah, there's always a couple here and there, but
yeah, and what you said earlier off the air, people should hear this, and I've been an advocate of this. Not all my friends patronize me all the time, and I don't get mad at them.
Mm-mm.
No, there's room for everybody, and your competition wouldn't be there if everybody came just to you, or just to me, or just to Colby here. So competition's good. Do I want Crisco Oil coming into town? Yeah, because you know what? We're going to step up the game a little bit.
You do.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Competition makes you fight harder.
That's true.
It does. It makes you get there earlier and leave later. And if you don't, they're going to do it. And if you lose, the only way you lose in business is by not taking care of your customer.
That's it.
And making that relationship and making it a good experience. I try to do that. Now, the sad thing about it is when you have issues come up and somebody will say, I don't like him because he's a Democrat, or I don't like him because he's a Republican. This presidential race right now, I just want to say this real quickly. I'm surprised at the intelligence of these people saying the stupidest things on the internet. For example, if you're a Trump man, you got to be drinking Kool-Aid, the bad Kool-Aid. If you're a Trump man, you got to be the most ignorant person in the world. If you're a Trump man, you want narcissists in there. If you're a Trump man, you want the world to go to hell. You want a Hitler running the United States of America. We had him for 4 years. None of that was true. Now, I'm not saying to go vote for Trump. I hope you do. But the other hand, they've been there for 4 years, and you truly are going to blame corporate greed?
That's it.
Corporate greed on gas, on groceries, corporate greed, seriously?
Mm-hmm.
And we won't go into any deeper than that. But my whole theory on the thing is vote for who you are and vote for who it is.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want that kind of life, but these people are crucifying us. I have never once ever said you're ignorant that you vote for Kamala Harris.
Mm-hmm.
I would never say that about a friend, but they're saying this on the websites here, on the Facebook, just saying nasty things about people that want Trump in there. And you just see how many people are at Madison Square Garden. Those people are all ignorant, seriously.
Right.
And I just pray for those people. I really do. So anyway, that being said, I got my rave off right now. So back to you, Jeff. What else?
Oh, that's it.
Looking for a great year.
I think it's going to be a tremendous year for quality of the bucks.
Mm-hmm.
It's already started. First week of October,
Really?
we took in for this area a couple of giants.
Really?
And and it's just going to get better with the rut kicking in, and it's going to be amazing. I think the buck pole is going to be
everybody's
a darn nice buck pole.
Everybody's really excited about it. You
Yeah.
know, I don't know if they're excited about coming and seeing me, but because I'll be there most of the time. I had a lot of fun last year, and everybody said, "Well, 2 weeks is a long time." I says, "You know what? 7 years has gone like a blink. 2 weeks ain't very long."
No.
I cherish every day, just like you guys do. You know, the other thing nice about being in business is you're your own boss. Sometimes there's negatives to it, but most of the time it's gratifying because you're making people happy.
That's it.
You know, you do. Yeah. I've heard a lot of good things about you and Colby. I have you too. I admire people like both of you guys and Colby. I'm not blowing smoke up you either, but I watched you make relationships up to college and in the community and the outside community. That says a lot about your mother and dad, what kind of man you are. And I know you appreciate both of them, and you appreciate God for the gift that they gave you and your parents. And Jeff, on you, talking about you, I admire you. You've given a lot back, and to do this shoulder mount, man, people, this is a big deal. This is not just something that Jeff puts together in 5 minutes. This is very costly for him. So if you're thinking about having any taxidermy done at all, get a hold of Jeff, because, you know, I mean, he stepped up to the plate here and given us the grand prize of a shoulder mount. I mean, he could have said, I'll do a set of horns for you, or what do you call the one you dip in?
Like a European mount, hydro dip. Skull mount.
Yeah, you could have said, I'll do that, or just a head mount, but you're doing a shoulder mount.
Yeah, I want to go all out.
Yeah, well, that says a lot about you. You're given a great prize there. And again, I just want to thank your mother up in heaven right now. You know, someday you're going to be going down the road and you're going to have a tear in your eye or even start crying because you miss her so.
Oh, yeah.
It just happens. It still does to me to this day. And my dad and mother have been gone since '96, and
Yep.
good Lord, you just think, where did that time go? But then I was grateful that, like you, having great parents.
Yep.
Just so if you have a mother and dad out there, folks, when you say Jeff, call them up. If they live out of the area, or else just give them a hug if they live in the area, because they're only here for a short time.
That's it.
Hope my kids are listening to me. I get too sensitive. With that being said, we're 12 minutes to the hour. Bob, I just want to talk real quickly on a couple of things. Dave Spencer, still in the hospital. Keep him in your prayers. I have Sunday, we gave tribute to a man of 72 years old, I think Joe Connard. He was from the Bloody Third Ward. Joe represented us just like Terry Luchins did, and Kenny Hike. They've all passed from the Third Ward, and there's others. Terry Wilkinson, he's gone. Third Ward represented blue-collar community of Big Rapids. We had 4 or 5 different wards, actually. And the Third Ward got that stigma of the Bloody Third Ward because there was a lot of blood shed on the streets, even when I was a little kid, fighting and stuff, you know. But Joe, he grew up in the Connard family. His dad was a meat cutter right in the back of the house, back before the laws came in and saying you can't cut meat in your back porch. Pud cut up a lot of meat, man. I'm telling you what. And it was clean back there. He had a nice system going. People all said, wow, that's dirty in there. No, it wasn't. No. But Pud Connard cleaned everything up, every knife. At the end of the day, I don't know how many hundreds of deer that he cut. And I don't remember even, he must have charged a little bit, but not much. But I could talk about the Connard family forever. Joe was a big part of it. He was the oldest son. And then there was Beaver, better known as Beaver. His name's Jeff. He's got a great family out of Cleveland now. They all moved out of town, and the ones that didn't have passed, Tilly, Pud. Pud died actually many years ago out to the A&R when he worked out there. He hunted deer. He was with Jeff hunting deer that morning and had a heart attack, massive, and passed away at a young age in the 50s, I think. Big man, loved his family just like Joe. And then Tony was the other son. They've lost Deb, Tammy, and Terry, all 3 great ladies that came out of Big Rapids and produced some great children. Deb didn't have any children, but you might say she did. She worked at Zott's Bar and Grill forever and ever and ever, and every customer that came in there knew her real well, but more importantly, loved her. She touched everybody's heart. She was just a great, great lady. That being said, Joe's get-together was at Zott's Bar and Grill Sunday. They closed the bar down. Doug and Roxanne did. Even though it was a Lions day, Lions football, Doug is going to church. But Joe had, the maximum people allowed in that bar. The reason he did is because he touched so many people. He never harmed anybody. He worked hard his whole life, never asked for nothing for free. Worked as a carpenter, worked with John Wiseman, probably his best friend. John gave a great speech about him, told him what Joe was all about. If you were there, you had tears and you had laughter because Joe, he wouldn't want you crying. He'd want you laughing. He did cement, worked for Joe Bayshaw. He did a lot of carpentry, like I said, and then he moved away at an early age of probably 18 or 19 years old. Ended up going down to Florida with Brian Kelly, I think it was, and Harry Balmeek, and I can't remember all their names, maybe Kerry Frank. But anyway, moved to Florida, Bradenton, Florida, resided there throughout his next 40 years or whatever it was. Loved it down there. They had a big get-together down there and put his ashes in the ocean because he loved to fish. He made sure he came home to take care of Debbie when she was ill over to the trailer court, built her a nice ramp so she could get up there with the wheelchair. I'll never forget. But he loved his family most of all, and he loved his friends. And if everybody could emulate Joe, it'd be... it's not about me, it's about the country. He was a patriot. He was a Trump supporter. He was a conservative. But most of all, he had love in his heart for his whole family, and my heart goes out to him because looking at him Sunday, you truly could see an American patriot was given a great farewell from the community of Big Rapids. The name Connard is kind of slipped away like the Denison name and so many others that came through Big Rapids and made Big Rapids what it is. sometimes I think they're the lucky ones to be gone because of what's going on in today's world. But if you look back in their world, they made sure everybody was taken care of Big Rapids. I wish we could get back to that. But unfortunately, I don't see it happening because of the hate going on right now. But that being said, there is more love right now in Big Rapids, and thanks to people like you and Colby, Jeff, that we have that continually success. We need people from the outside to come in here to keep us old guys in line. And I love Big Rapids for what it stands for, and Joe Connor did too. God bless you, Joe. You've been a great patriot for America, and let alone Big Rapids. And then we have a good girl. I loved her to death, Vicki Conley. Graduated in 1974. Back then, it was the Grassers, we called them, on Saturday nights. We just everybody loved everybody. We drank a little bit, smoked a little bit, probably did a little bit of other things too, but it was all innocent. We just had a great time. Vicki was a big part of that. She raised a great family out there in Everett area, and she forever was my friend, as her brothers are to this day. The Conleys represented farmers. They represented entrepreneurs. If you ever get out to the lakeside out there, the donut shop, Tim Conley, he's had that Conley donut shop out there for probably 40 years. He started across the street, then he bought kitty corner from where he was at there, and he's got a great group of people that patronize him every day, and the reason they do is he's another Joe Connor. Tim's a great guy. Got a great family. The Conleys, I can't say enough about them. You know, they're relative of Dolores Horn, so she loses a great niece. Her dad, Harry, was a Triangle Autos backroom guy for a lot of years. A lot of history in Big Rapids. But Vicki deserved a great life, and I hope she had one. Every time I saw her, she always was happy. One of the beauties of 74. But anyway, that being said, they're both gone. They'll be forever remembered by me because they were very instrumental on who I am. And stay with positive people. That's all I can say. And then leaving you with this, it is election year. Whatever happens, remember that's the President of the United States, not your enemy. They want what's best for you. If it'd be karma, well, then that'd be so. But, I think that we have a great need for some great leadership, and I think that God's help will have them in there. If you haven't voted and you think your vote doesn't count, you're wrong. Your vote does count. Every one of our votes count. I want to keep Jeff Conard's stepdaughter. She's 38 years old. I know I move in name. I wished I could, and I've never met her. But Jeff texted